Well, hey there everyone. So this is going to be a little bit of a different video, because this is over the span of 4 months, or 3 months. I can't remember what we're going to be doing. So as of right now, it is the end of January. So basically what we're going to be doing is I'm going to show you this vlog style video of what I've been doing for the past 3 or 4 months with me and my friends. So we saw this on TikTok a bit ago, and it was basically this woman who was doing like a little book exchange with her and her friends. So basically what you would do is you would pick out a book that you've read, and then you would send it on to your friends, and each friend would have a book that they've read. So at one time there are 4 books circulating. So we loved that idea and decided to do that. So it's going to be me, 2 of my friends, and then my sister. So for my book that I picked, I chose Assistant to the Villain. If you haven't read this, it is quite good. I very much enjoyed it. It had me like giggling and kicking my feet. It's got grumpy sunshine, everything you could ever want. And as you can see, I've got a little thing sticking out here. That's because for each book that I get, I'm going to make a personalized bookmark to send along and eventually reach the original owner of the book. Also for my book, and maybe for the other books as well, I put on the little corners to protect them as much as possible. And then I've also prepped my book, which means I've made it so that the spine won't crack. I'll show you a quick little video of how I did that. But basically, you just like bring down a page on each side until you get to the center, and that makes it super easy to flip through, and the spine will hopefully not crack. So what we're all going to be doing pretty much is we're going to, with every book that we get, we're going to read along and then annotate with our thoughts, what we thought were important quotes, you know, what we liked and whatnot. So each person is going to like gather more and more stuff that they liked about this book, and then we can like see their reactions and read along, and I'm so excited for this. Normally I don't annotate books because it feels wrong to write in a book, but for this purpose I will be annotating. So for my book, before I send it off, we can see it is clear. There's nothing going on in there yet because it has yet to go to the first person. So I will send this off to my friend, and she will annotate it and then send it off to the next person and to the next person, and then eventually back to me. So by the end of this video, I will have this book back, and then we can see all the little annotations and comments and stuff that everyone has made. So for supplies, I just got these off of Amazon. So these are just some like super light highlighters because I wanted, again, to obscure as little as possible. So these are the 2 that I'm using for the book right now. And then for the little tabbies, this just came in like a big pack. So I'm just using all these little tabbies, you know. And so I got a lot of selection. And these are also super easy to rip, like come off of paper. It doesn't rip the paper at all. And also they're pretty see-through, so you can still read with the tabbies there, which is what I really was looking for. So yeah, with all of that, I'm just going to be showing you all a few little clips here and there of me reading, probably crying, making the little bookmark, and then sending off the book, and then receiving the new one. So it is going to be a journey. So at the end of each month is when we're planning on sending our books. So even if I finish this within like the first week, I'm just going to wait till the end of the month to send it so that people don't get books like stacking up or whatnot. So we're all just going to do that. And then eventually I will get my fully annotated book back. And then I will likely read it again myself, make my own little annotations, and see what everyone else has put in their book. So yeah, join me on this journey. I guess we can go ahead and get started with it all. My choice for this book exchange was Assistant to the Villain by Nicole Maehrer. This book is about, you guessed it, the assistant to the villain. The main character, Evie, stumbles upon the villain in need and was then offered a job with him. This book takes us on the journey of their relationship and them teaming up to figure out who is trying to assassinate the villain. Personally, this was my favorite book out of the bunch. It was a very easy read to jump in and out of. The grumpy sunshine aspect of this book was by far my favorite thing about it. There were literally times I was actually giggling and kicking my feet because of how cute this book was. If you're looking for a light and fun read, I would recommend this book without hesitation. Overall, I give this book 4.5 stars. Vanessa's pick for the book exchange was Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer. This book follows the journey of a young boy, Oscar, as he tries to deal with his father's death in the 9/11 attacks. This is by far one of the most interesting books that I think I've read. The writing perfectly captures the thought process of a 9-year-old and how jumbled their thoughts are, and this book just made me sob, especially towards the end when we finally get the whole story of his father's heartbreaking death. I would 100% recommend this book if you are brave enough. It did give me lots of things to think about and changed my worldview a little bit as I finished this book. Overall, I give this book 3.5 stars. Jessica's book for the book exchange was The Last Dance of the Debutante by Julia Kelly. Taking place in 1950s England, we follow Lily as she's thrown into the life of a debutante by her mother and grandmother. We get to see what it was like to come out in society and live the life of the party, but there are deeper secrets at work, soon to be discovered by Lily herself. This book, I think, surprised me the most. I was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I did, but I am glad to say that this book was very enjoyable to read. I felt like I was watching an episode of Downton Abbey with all the drama and plot twists along the way. If you are looking for a slow read with a splash of drama, I would absolutely recommend reading Julia Kelly's book. Overall, I give this book 4 stars. Last but not least was Corey's pick with Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This book throws us into a world where survivors of a deadly plague gained special powers. In a city of unique individuals, our main character Peyton is one of the few who remain powerless and who escaped the purging of such people. She is then thrown into a competition where she must fake her psychic powers and try to survive the trials thrown at her. First, I will say that the main couple in this book were very cute, and I did quite enjoy their banter and enemies to lovers vibe. However, I must say that this book did disappoint me. There were many concepts of the book that were overused in other media, and even scenes that were almost word for word from other books. The concept was very much like the Hunger Games, and the similarities to other medias I read were getting quite tiresome. However, I did enjoy this book as I read it, and I think that's all that really matters. I would recommend this book, but only if you go into it not expecting as much as I was. Overall, I give this book 3 stars. And we are back. I cannot tell you how many months it's been because I have forgotten how many months it's been. It was supposed to be 4 months, but we kept getting busy and procrastinating our books all together as a group. So we've been more than 4 months. But here is my finished book. I personally have not annotated it yet. I probably will at some point just because I would love to go and read while like looking at the comments. But this is all the stuff. Overall, I'd say if you have the motivation, this was such a fun thing to do. I'm really just realized my bookmark isn't here. That means whoever had my book last has my bookmark, right? I'm gonna have to investigate. I'm gonna have to text my friends. But what was I saying? Yeah, this was fun. Get a group of friends together and read each other's books. I was really nervous in the beginning to annotate a book because it feels like taboo to write in a book, but honestly, as I like got used to it, it was really fun just to like, because I have like so many thoughts while I read. That's why I like reading books that like my sister has read or a friend has read, so I can text them all of my thoughts. But I could just write them down in here and get all of that energy out, and then other people can see what we were all thinking while we read the book. Overall, I think all of the books that we chose were very good in their own way. Some were a little bit more sad than others, but I still enjoyed it nonetheless, and it like got us all thinking. Some books did surprise me. One of the books did surprise me. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. That was the Debutante book. And it actually turned out to be really good. It was basically like an episode of Downton Abbey. And then one book that disappointed me, if I'm being honest, was Powerless. I wanted it to be better than it was. If I'm being brutally honest, I don't understand the hype. Everybody was talking about this book at one point, and I was like, this is going to be such a good book. Everybody's talking about it. I'm going to enjoy it. Admittedly, I did enjoy it, but the more I think about it, the more it kind of pisses me off. So that one could have been better. My favorite one out of the bunch was this one, which was my pick, and I'd already read it, so I knew it was good. It's just like a little giddy, sunshine, grumpy kind of book. So yeah, after months of doing this, we have finally completed the round. Would I do this again? Maybe. Just because when we started, I feel like I had more motivation to do everything, but then as the months came along, I don't like being told what to do, so it's like, oh, now I have to read this book when I don't want to, but if I were doing it of my own volition, I'd have finished this in like a month. So if I had motivation to do it again, and we all had some really good picks, I think I would really enjoy to do it again. But it was fun when we did it. And would I keep annotating in books? I want to say yes, but I'm still of that mindset of like, I don't want to like ruin the book, especially if I'm letting somebody else borrow it and like they're saying all the like annotations. I did really enjoy annotating it, so maybe I will get some books that I can annotate in, but I do have some others that I do not want a single like page wrinkled on, like my Throne of Glass selection. So I think it was a fun little experiment. So yeah, thank you for joining me for the past like 6 months of this journey. So anywho to do, if you like what I did, go and like and subscribe. I post most Saturdays, mostly at noon, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.